Hey guys, welcome back to another SUPboarder review. My name's Ruben and this week we're going to be looking at the Fanatic Stylemaster. Fanatic started making windsurf boards back in 1981 and they make SUPs and surfboards and they're up there with one of the top brands in the world at the moment. Specifications for the Stylemaster: 10 foot long, 30 inches wide. We measured it at just under 4 inches thick. That's an approx measurement. It's 135 litres, it weighs 11 kilograms and it retails at £1,499. The general overview of the Fanatic Stylemaster: relatively long for its width, longboard style surf shape. The fin setup it comes in a 2+1, a US box with Futura side bites. The materials this board's made of: straight away you can see an EVA diamond deck grip throughout most of the board. The board itself is made of an EPS foam core with glass and a sandwich wood layer on top of the board, which you can see throughout the whole of the top of the deck there. Who's this board designed for? This board is really designed for those longboard SUP surfers out there weighing between 55 and 85 kilograms. So moving on to our SUPboard impressions. The first thing we've noticed about the Fanatic Stylemaster is actually how stylish the board does look. It looks really good with the colourways and the dark wood, which you can see throughout the whole of the deck of the board. So really well finished off and does exactly what it says. It is stylish. Moving on to the EVA deck pad, we've said in another video, really nice comfy EVA deck pad right through to the whole of the tail of the board, and a nice comfy tail kicker pad that you can get feet on and you can feel it and really pronounced under your foot. Double leash plug at the back there for extra peace of mind, so if you think you're going to go for your leashing string, there's 2 points you can attach it there. A nice deep recessed carry handle and also pressure valve and a windsurf attachment, as they are on all the Fanatic models. Moving on to the shape of the Stylemaster, the outline shape screams longboard performance. Relatively narrow for its length, pulled in slightly at the tail, but still a bit of width up there at the nose so you can get up to the nose and do some walking. One thing we did notice with the Stylemaster is it has quite a domed deck to the board, so there's a lot of volume in the middle of the board, but the reason they've done that is because they can pull the rail shape in at the sides. So instead of having a big, fat, corky rail, they've got a really nice thin rail. This makes a massive difference on the wave face, gives you much more speed on the bottom turns. It's really positive and really grippy. Really nice thing they've done there all the way to the tail, and even at the back of the board the rail shape is really relatively quite thin for the size of this board. Looking at the rocker of the board, it has a standard amount of nose rocker, not something excessive, leading into quite a big flat midsection here, which is going to give you a lot of speed and ease of paddling in when you want to catch a wave, get your head down. And at the back of the board it has a nice amount of tail kick, so you really can get on the back of the board and push that turnaround. Looking at the bottom shape itself, we take our flat edge. Up at the nose there's a small amount of concave, which is just coming in, and then straight away it moves into a V. And then moving back, the V generally gets progressively more and more pronounced right to the fins, and even with a slight amount of V at the tail. So the concave will really help give the board a bit of lift, and the V will help keep the board more controllable. Looking at the fin setup, this comes a classic 2+1 fin setup with an 8-inch centre fin and 3.5-inch side bites, and they're fitted in the Futura's fin box setup. Good quality fins we've seen from Fanatic before, and also having the thruster box, which is basically the 3 fins. You can take the centre fin out and you can ride it as a twinser and start doing board 360s and mucking about on smaller days like that too. When you paddle the board for the first time, it feels stable, but not actually that stable for its size as compared to other 10-foot boards in the market, and that is because it's relatively lowish volume with a thinner rail. And then when you're paddling onto the wave, if you get your head down, you can basically catch anything because it's quite a nice glide length to the board. And then on the wave, the rail and the bottom shape all comes alive, and the board really offers a great amount of performance, especially on those sort of waist-high waves. The board has a lot of acceleration for its size too. Very positive on the bottom turn. It does feel like you could take off on quite a big wave for this board because of the thin rails there. And then actually, if you can move yourself up and back and down the board and get your foot right by the tail pad, you can force quite a relatively tight turn as well for the length of the board. Because of the overall thickness of the nose, it's relatively thin. When you're paddling out, you do cut straight through the waves paddling out of white water or waves that are about to break on you, so it punches through the waves really easily. And when you're on the wave, the nose there generally has a nice bit of width, so you can get up and stand up on the nose without the width being too much of an issue. So who will be best suited for the Stylemaster? If you're 70 kg, you'll be able to paddle it on the flat, absolutely fine. But for the board and the way it's shaped and designed, it's got to be surfing. This board has got to go surfing. To get into surfing, if you're a lighter rider of the sort of 65, 70 kg, yeah, you could get into surfing with this. It's a little bit tippy, but if you're from a surfing background or even from a longboard prone surfing background, this board will be the board that could clinch you into SUP surfing. Negatives or downsides to the Stylemaster: a little bit more concave up underneath the nose would aid to the longboard nose riding performance. If you're an established nose rider and you can walk up to the nose of the board and hang 5, this board won't be an issue. But if you're coming at it as first steps, let's say, a bit more concave will make the board a little bit more stable, a little bit more stick to the wave, and a bit easier to get up with those toes on the nose. Value for money, £1,499. I think you get quite a lot of good quality board for your money. Really well finished, beautiful to look at, solid construction as it is with all Fanatics, and a very good price point. The SUPboarder verdict for the Fanatic Stylemaster: I think it's about time we've seen longboard performance surf SUPs on the market, and Fanatic have made themselves a really good stab at it first time. A really nice balanced all-round board, maybe a slight bit of concave up there for the future, but this board is going to take you from 0 to hero, and if the longboarders get off their prone paddle boards and come onto the stand-up paddle boards, they could put this sport into the next level with boards like this. If you have any questions or comments on this board or other boards we've tested, please leave them in the comment section below. Otherwise, for more information about Fanatics and other boards we've tested, visit SUPboardermag.com.